Hey everyone, my name is PlunderMyBooty. This weekend I was accused by the community contributor Notser on the NA server of stream sniping him, and I'd like to set the record straight. But more importantly, I also want to talk about how Notser reacted when I attempted to defend myself and my clan. I'd also like to say that I have a vested interest here, so please look at the facts from both sides. I will attempt to do my best to show both sides here in this video. Let's start by just listening to the first time Notser accuses me on stream.
But definitely based on what I'm seeing, they're watching. They knew exactly when they could push B, and then they knew where to go from me. I mean, it could be just coincidence after coincidence after coincidence.
Okay, let's start at the beginning of the match from Notser's perspective. All footage from his perspective is taken from his stream VOD. Feel free to look at it on Twitch for yourself. I'll put it in the link below.
DDs, and they have hydroacoustic. Looks like they were driven off. It was fishy when both of the Z-52s pulled back so abruptly from B point. Like, they didn't have to reposition their ships when the aircraft came towards them. Like, they were spotted for maybe 10 seconds. But I didn't read it like, they could have just gotten lucky. But just the way they reacted at B at the beginning, I was like, wow, we didn't get a lot of... usually with two Z-52s, you'd be aggressively pushing into the capture point because you knew you would have the advantage. But they pulled back real quick.
I'm going to go through this match and deconstruct all of the claims that Notser makes by showing his perspective and then my perspective. I'll start by showing my perspective of this so-called fishy behavior at the start of the match. As you can see, my divmate and I are about to be spotted by the enemy carrier's torpedo bombers, so we begin to turn out. This is intentional because our Lexington has not loaded in yet, and the Des Moines in our division needs to get near the island to stay alive, so he doesn't want to offer AA support if he can avoid it. After seeing the enemy radar ships pushing towards the A cap, we turned around and went to the other side of the B cap as far away from the radar ships as we could to successfully cap B. After the battle, Notser had this to say.
Like, there really wasn't any clue that I was in that exact position. I hadn't fired my gun for a long time and I hadn't been spotted, and yet this person was still shadowing me.
Now, from my perspective, we can see that this is patently false and that both Notser and the Minotaur were spotted for over a minute before our engagement. Because I wanted to minimize the number of ships shooting at me, I chose to go behind the island of B. Due to the enemy carrier spotting me, Notser was aware that I was pushing his way and came out of his smoke in order to get away. During our engagement, the carrier dropped me and did substantial damage to me, totaling around 10k. This was a very tough drop for him, great spotting, so really giving him credit to him for some great play here. After our engagement, Notser is left with 6 HP and retreats into his spawn next to his carrier. Meanwhile, my divmate is actively hunting that carrier by following his planes back. We can see that Notser gets plane spotted by our carrier, the friendly carrier, and then Itza takes him out. By this point, I hope I've made a strong case on how Notser was not in fact stream sniped, but rather was simply outplayed. It was at this point that I was informed by another clan officer who was watching the match in our Discord channel that Notser was accusing me of stream sniping. This person, or any other person in the Discord channel, was expressly told at the beginning of the match not to say anything about it, as our clan does not condone stream sniping or cheating of any kind. Both Notser and I left the game and went back to port, and I began to message him. I sent these 4 messages to him through the in-game PM system, which he quickly closed out and dismissed. The following comments are taken directly after I sent the last message.
I didn't get outplayed. You kidding me, Plunder Boy? I kick your ass 1v1, bro. The only way you know that I'm talking about this is someone said it. So how can you defend that? Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Act like you've been there. Who's a super unicum? You are, Plunder Boy? You don't act like one. You act like a jackass. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
I continued to talk with Notser in his Twitch chat in an attempt to clear my name of this slanderous accusation.
Don't accuse people of stream sniping. How do you know that I accuse you of stream sniping? Mr. Booty. Clan told me. Oh, after. Well, we were still in that game and you were talking to me about it, so I don't know about after. It's so convenient how it after happened even though you were talking to me during the game. Yeah, yeah. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's whatever. You don't need to answer to me. He probably is a great player. He's a jackass, but he probably is a great player. I don't really care about that. I mean, it didn't take any skill. I mean, come on. Who cares? My team lost that game. Come on, bro. It doesn't matter about skill there. I mean, if he's a representation of his clan, I really don't want any association with them if they let assholes exist like that. So I would hope that he's an outlier for his clan, but you never know. Some clans like that shit.
By this point, Notser had called me a stream sniper, a jackass, and an asshole. I'm no softie, so this doesn't really bother me personally. However, I am offended that Notser would immediately accuse another player of cheating and then proceed to demean that player. Normally, I would laugh it off and move on. However, as a community contributor, his words hold a lot of weight. Within 5 hours of this event, I received messages from Notser's viewers through the forums and other means attempting to shame me for stream sniping. Through this false allegation, Notser has decreased my ability to enjoy the game, the exact opposite of what a community contributor should be doing. From this, I would hope that Notser would learn not to make unsubstantiated claims that are potentially harmful. I would also hope that Notser would recognize his error and apologize not to me, but my clan, his viewers, and the community at large for his behavior.